inside. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. It's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never enough.
We'd hook up in my car, drive it so far, play your guitar, you'd show me your art, let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars, we were never apart, drinking too young, way too much fun, out in the sun, hoping when it's gone, took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on.
Late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. Nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious.
We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled.
It's too late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be.
open, I feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final round of Wheel to Wheel Racing Season 5. We're in Brazil, and it is a sprint weekend. Hello, everyone that's in the chat. Hello, Baniel, Alfie, Concept. Good to see you all. Hoping for an exciting last race. Couple of positions up for grabs. The championship was sealed last week. It is a sprint weekend, so the format we're going to have now is a one-shot sprint qualifying. Then we're going to have the sprint race decided by that qualifying format. We will then leave the lobby. We'll have short quali, and then we'll have the 50% race. Brazil notorious for rain, but it looks dry on this one shot. Somebody has readied up already. So I hope everyone gets their setups on ASAP. You got 30 seconds to get your setup on and choose your tyre. I imagine for the quali, everyone will default to softs anyway, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But for the race, maybe. So final few seconds before we get this one-shot quali underway, and here we go. Quickly get all that enabled. So shockingly, it is Wide Vader at the top of the moment, but he's dropped down after turn 2. It's Alezu leading. Oh, it's Jundy. It's Jundy leading the top. I tell you what, we're riding Bob with Twooge for the time being. Alezu still P2. He's on for a good lap at the moment. He's dropped down a couple of places. The big Spartan running well. We're riding on board with him as he comes down to the right-hander. Slight lift, but keeps it flat on the exit. He's dropped down to P4 momentarily. Morgan moving up. She's in thereabouts. Flicking between 3 and 4 with Nando Loris. We'll ride on board with it. As she comes into the tricky right-hander down to second gear. Rajvos is invalidated, I think. Flat out. Twooge still looking like he's going to take pole. Nando just pipping Morgan, I think. Will Twooge be our pole sitter? Comes across the line. Yes, he is. Jundy P2, Nando Loris P3, the big Spartan P4, Morgan P5, Twiggy in a very respectable P6, riding a new setup today. Baniel P7 and Cayenne there at the end disqualified, so I'm presuming he invalidated. So Twooge taking pole in the one-shot quali. There's your order. So Twooge, Jundy, Nando Loris. Twooge by 3/10, by the way. What a great lap. The big Spartan, Morgan, Twiggy, Baniel, Alfie, Wide Vader all the way down to P9. Not his best lap. Elias P10. Alezu had a brilliant set to 1, but dropped through as he went down into the sectors. We get spun turn 1. He's down in P14, and Rajvosa and Cayenne both not setting a lap. So that is what one-shot quali can do to you. Mixing up the grid a little bit, which is good to see. That's what it's there for, to mix up the grid. Let Minty cook. Minty coming back from a short while off, joining us for the last race of the season. So it looks like a very dry sprint quali. see if we can get a ready up time for everyone. Nothing has been said so far. Yeah, Park Ferme is off. So if anybody ready up, well, somebody did ready up early, they could still reapply a setup now. They're not locked in. Minty said his traction control was off and you didn't know. Alfie was happy with P8. I had a good result last week in Vegas. Took home driver of the day, and I think it was P6 eventually finished with. So we'll just wait now for everybody to choose their strategy. Being told to ready up now, so we should get going in the next 30 seconds. So Tweed with a very dominating pole position lap there, ahead by 3/10. Morgan doing very well, up in P4, I think it was, P5. Nando Loris also doing well. Jundy, retroactively P2. He's doing well. Wide Vader, I think he'd be glad to have already taken home the championship as he's quite far down the grid. But we've got 5 red lights in Brazil at the sprint. And away we go. After a long hold, we eventually get going. Jundy seems to get a slightly better start than Twooge, but he's not going to be far enough alongside. And we're seeing a lot of ghosting. We'll move further down the grid. Who's that? That is Alezu. He's facing the wrong way. So, Minty also struggling at the back there. We'll move through the grid. We've got Twiggy making a move on Jundy. He gets that move done. Twiggy up into P4. What a great start to this race he's had. So is Wide Vader. He's going around the outside of Elias, which will give him the inside for the next corner. It's a fast corner, and he gets through ahead. Up into P7 for Wide Vader. Jundy looking to make a move on Twiggy. He's getting right up to the rear diffuser. I think they'll all try and stay single file through Sector 2. Will Jundy look to make a move down the inside? No, he won't, but the red wall of Elias will on AlphaTauri Wolf. He makes a move up the inside, taps wheel from the McLaren. He's going to go for the inside into the penultimate corner. AlphaTauri Wolf almost going off track. Elias looks like he gets that move done, but AlphaTauri Wolf is going to lose a couple of positions now. Through goes the V-Carb, and I think Kayan's going to be next. He's already side by side. Are we going 3 wide, 4 wide into turn 1? AlphaTauri Wolf down the inside. Oh, and he gets tapped. He rolls into a half spin. Alfie's retired. He's retired into the pit lane, so he's not had a great start. Minty's losing a bit of his front wing. We'll roll back to the front as Wide Vader passes Banyul. Jundy still applying a bit of pressure on Twiggy. The big Spartan running a very good race so far, up into P3. Nando Loris, the only man that can keep with Twooge so far. He's within 3/10. Let's have a look at our tyres. So there you go, a mix of tyres of mediums and softs. Nando Loris and the big Spartan both on the soft, so it explains why they've had such a good start. But I think the medium tyre is the better tyre here. We'll put penalty done as Minty has already got 3 seconds. We'll cut through the grid. Is anybody applying a bit of pressure? Morgan's not had a good start to this sprint. She's down in P11 and she's missing a bit of a front wing end plate. Nando Loris passes Twooge into turn 1. We'll keep an eye and see if Twooge can make a move back down the second DRS straight. We're right on board with him. As he pulls to the left hand side, we've got a yellow flag further down. That is Raj Vosa, who's had a moment somewhere in between turn 1 and turn 2. Elias also down to P15. He's missing both front wing end plates. He's not in a good position at the moment. Alezu up to P11 and he's going wide. Getting re-overtaken by his teammate Baguette, who's now up into P11. Points only run up to P10 in the sprint. So both Aston Martin teammates battling it out. Minty trying to make a move up the inside of Baguette. He's going to have to go a long way around. I think that'll be hard to do. He's missing his front left wing end plate. Will Minty go for a move down the inside once again? He looks at it, but once again, Alezu defending nicely. Minty gets another 3 seconds, so 6 seconds in 2 laps. Crazy, as Harv would say. Twiggy has now dropped to P6, and Jundi and the Big Spartan both making a move. Wide Vader manages to get past the second Williams. He's now up into P4. What a start to the race he's had. Jundi now, no DRS though. Will Wide Vader be able to make a move on him? No, he's too far back. Twiggy pulls to the inside to have a little look. So, Nando Loris both stretching out by 2 seconds. We've got more battling towards the back of the grid. Baguette now up into P10. He's past Void. So, Baguette now into a point scoring position. Elias really struggling with them front wing damage. Rajvosa missing his front right wing end plate. Oh, and he got a bit of oversteer there on the exit. Minty looking to make a move on Elias, but Elias has the race in line. But Minty's trying to go around the outside. That'll be audacious. The wheel tap. He's on the grass. He's going to struggle under braking. He's got the better line on the exit of the penultimate corner. And they're still side by side. Rajvosa also making to look to make a move in there. He's going to go around the outside with 3 wide heading down the straight. Rajvosa comes out on top of all of that. Good racing. Wide Vader now makes a move on Jundi. He's up into a podium position. Let's have a look at our winners and losers. So there we go. Wide Vader up 6 positions. Cayenne up 10. He's silently had an amazing start to this race, but he is on the soft tyres, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rajvosa and Elias battling it out into the second DRS straight. They gets 3 seconds. That's really going to cost him. Oh, and he collides with his teammate Alezu, who's gone into a spin. I think it was a wheel bang, but that's going to put him last, unfortunately. So we'll head down the DRS straight as we are about to start lap 6, and we'll ride on board with Nando Loris, who is 6 tenths away from Touge. I don't think he's going to make an overtake into turn 1. He's a bit too far back, especially even with the DRS. So he's getting a bit of oversteer on the exit there. Nando getting a... Oh, maybe. Never mind. Touge lagging just a little. Touge goes from about 2 tenths in front to about 9 tenths in front. So no more overtakes. Twiggy thought about it and he collides into the side of the Big Spartan. He was coming from quite a far way back. I don't think he meant that. I think he just a late brake. But luckily the Big Spartan gets away with it, and so does Twiggy. Oh, but he ends up in an oversteer and he's in the grass. And Baniel is going around the outside. Twiggy rocking a new setup this weekend. He's bought himself a new Moser. The one for Xbox. So I think he's just getting used to his setup this week. Rajvosa now up into P12. Is this Minty's first weekend? He has raced before. Previously, and then he dropped to a reserve, but this is his first reserve. This is first time reserving in quite a while. So Touge managed to pull a gap of over a second on Nando Loris now. So Touge looks like he just needs to get another 5 more laps under his belt, and he will win this race. As Cayenne going around the outside of Twiggy. What a great move into turn 1. Will Twiggy have the DRS down the second straight? We're right on board with it. The rear flap is open. Cayenne pulls to protect the inside. Twiggy's going to go around the outside. They both get through and Twiggy makes a good overtake. Good racing. Twiggy up into P7 as he oversteers, and I thought it was going a bit deep then. Wide Vader, in the meantime, really caught up to the back of Nando Loris. Nando Loris struggling now on those soft tyres. As we said at the start of this race, the softs will die early on. Mediums are the better tyre, especially for the sprint. I think for the race, we'll see a medium hard as well. So we'll ride on board with Wide Vader down the main straight. He's also got a bit of pressure coming from Jundi. Wide Vader, will he make a move into turn 1? Brakes early but goes deep. Needs a good exit out of turn 2. Kyan passing Twiggy. Wide Vader coming to the inside. Gets that move done. We'll ride him ball with Twiggy, with Jundy. He's going to be the second car to go past Nando Loris. Both side by side. Jundy forcing Nando off the track. Still wheel to wheel. And Nando just tucks in behind sensibly. So he's gone from P2 to P4 in a matter of corners. Kyan and Twiggy still battling it out. Kyan passing Twiggy where Twiggy overtook him on the previous lap. Good racing from them two. Baniel in a good position at the moment. He's P6. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Who is that? It's Alpine. Yeah, it's Kyan. He's missing his full front wing. What's happened there? You can see he's got nothing left on the front of that Alpine. And he will really struggle. It'll be almost impossible for him to complete this race. I think you'd struggle to lose. I don't know how he's lost his full front wing. He comes into the pits in what I imagine will be a retirement for this race, unless he just comes out to practice, ready for the main race. So Wide Vader in the meantime is now up into P2, so it's a Sauber 1-2. So I think if Sauber, well, I'm pretty sure if Sauber pull off this 1-2, that will make them the Constructors' Champions in what's been a very strong team this season. They're doing really well. Alpine put up a very strong fight, as did Haas, but come to the back end of the season, these kicks have been unstoppable. Jundy looking to make a move down the DRS straight. He gets that done before turn 1. We'll keep an eye on Wide Vader. Will he be able to fight back into the second DRS? Jundy gets 3 seconds. That's going to demote him a few places. Wide Vader pulling to his inside. They're going to be side by side as we head towards turn 4. Wide Vader gets the move done. Jundy in with a little tap. So I think Jundy will, at the minute, lose 1 position. But depending on where he's fighting with Wide Vader, it might be 2. Rajvosa passes AlphaTauri Wolf, and what has been a good recovery drive from him. His teammate Voyage currently P11. Forgets dropped down the order. He's now P15. Alezu trying to go around the outside of Elias, almost oversteering into him as Elias gets 3 seconds. So that's going to cost him a couple of positions, or 1 actually at the moment. Alezu just staying behind Elias for that front wing damage as we head towards the penultimate corner. Oh, it's the final corner really, it's just flat out through there. And it's who can get the better run as we head towards the first DRS straight. Alezu manages to get the move done on Elias before we even pass the pit wall. So he's now up into P12. And he's oversteers a little bit, almost lost it into turn 1 there. Will Elias be able to fight back with a second dose of DRS? Oh, both cars have DRS, but Elias has so much more speed down that straight. And he's up into P12. Good racing from them two. Twiggy in a little race of his own at the moment. Morgan catching up slightly, 1.5 seconds. She's done a bit of a recovery drive after what must have been a lap 1 incident. I didn't see it personally, but she qualified well. So Nando Loris sticking with Jundy and Wide Vader, as he'll probably get a podium spot with Jundy 3 seconds. Elias now passing Boyd, and so is Alezu, as we're into the final corner there. Got 8 seconds to the points though, so it'll be almost impossible. as we start this final lap of this race. Banyul passing to Big Spartan. He's now up into P5. What a great race he's had. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that? Is that Void? Yeah, it is Void. Something happened in turn 1. We're right back on board with Jundi. Going to have little to no overtaking points here. Banyul and the Big Spartan still going at it. Jundi needs a good exit out the final corner, but I don't think he's going to get it. As Twooge will now cross the line and win the Brazil sprint. What a great start to this weekend he's had. Jundi not going to be close enough to pass Wide Vader. Nando Loris will take home that final podium spot. Banyul does have 3 seconds though, so he's going to lose this position as we got to the line. And Banyul actually got there by 3/100ths. Morgan beat Twiggy to the line. She's now P7. Rajvosa P9. AlphaTauri Wolf P10. Alezu will beat Elias to the line. He's P11. Elias will have to settle for P12. Void P13. Cayenne after boxing, after losing his front wing, he's P14. Excuse me. Magetto will come home P15 with 3 seconds, and Minty with 9 seconds will come on P16. So, what a great start to this weekend Swooge has had. Taking on pole in one-shot quali, the winner of the sprint, and that will be the Constructors' Championship as well. So, big well done to Kick Sauber. What a great season they've had. There we are. So there is the sprint order. Swooge winning that race by 3.1 seconds. Quite dominant performance. Nando Loris kept with him for a short while. But once them soft tyres die, you're going to really struggle. But good pace from the Mercedes driver. Both Williams doing very well, P4 and P5. Good job from them too. Banyul doing well, up in P6 as well. He had P5 until that 3-second penalty kicked in. So we're going to see a couple of demolition derbies now while we retire and wait for everybody to get back to the lobby. And then we're going to start the short quali. And then we'll have the 50% race. Void tried to kill me. Please put it down in instance. If that's the case. Alfie, I got damage at the start, so I thought I'd just do my own little commentary. You could have still used it as good practice for the race. Could have done a few little quali laps in there. Yeah, test the tyres out as well. Everybody now retiring. Swiggy. Oh no, it was Minty. Same, but he must have retired before that. Couldn't even been his own car. I don't think a couple of people got the memo. Or one person didn't get a memo. Tell you what, let's scrub through the stream and let's go over that lap 1. So Jundi got a good start, but a lot of cars ghosted. Morgan started. Okay, so Morgan mustn't have been at a controller at the start of the race because she instantly goes from P5, and by the time Twoo just got to turn 1, she's down in P13, P14. So yeah, so something happened there. think she was stuck at the line. Somebody going very deep into turn one, I think. That might have been Minty. Alezu facing the wrong way. Twiggy had a good start with Banyol. Yeah, a lot of ghosted cars. AlphaTauri Wolf and Void battling it out on the second hour straight. Yeah. So that explains Morgan's start. And while we are doing the second part of the Demolition Derby, I am going to go grab a drink. So I'll be back. Right, I'm back. Don't think I missed much. We get P1. Won't get the camera. Do. Hopefully we're getting back to the lobby soon. Checking with D2 chat. Okay, a couple of people left. Twiggy. Hello, Foraco. Good to see you. Just waiting to get the quality underway. Oh, we'll start with change lobbies. Oh, I did accept that invite. Oh. There we go. Right, I think we're back going. Right, so it looks dry in quali. I am quickly going to ask. Yeah, sorry. I've just seen all your messages now. Yep. Normally we would just reset back to the main menu, but we had a host change. I'm going to find out now if there's any rain. Hello? Is there any rain in the race?
No, absolutely nothing. We've been robbed.
There's 4 times chance of rain in quali than in race. Because in quali there's 4% and in race it's 1.
Where was this yesterday? Anyway, what happened with the host?
It wouldn't
Uh,
go back
was-
into the lobby.
Something crashed in the lobby, and when guys disconnected, then it moved. But I couldn't be the host because my internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we managed to we have so fantastically organized community that we managed to do it quickly.
Amazing.
I know.
Talk soon.
Yeah, cheers.
2 times I leave, we get dry race. I know. I wish we had a dry race yesterday. Judging on the hards. Right. Let's get the show on the road. Who do we have first? It is Kyan as we head down into turn 1. Pick your braking point. You have to get a good exit to make sure you get a nice run and keep that speed coming through the second DRS zone. Also very easy to invalidate there. We've got communicating with online services, not something you like to see. Keeps it in 5th gear through the left-hander. Also easy to invalidate on the exit there on the right-hand side. Kyan shouldn't be applying any brake here, just a downshift, and he keeps his foot planted, trying to minimise the oversteer on the exit, keeping full throttle, 3rd gear, riding the curve very nicely. Making sure you don't go too far left onto the grass there. There's the 3rd gear. Also a very important corner, you have to get a good exit here, keeping that top speed high as we have a race down to the line. You should keep to the left, minimalising that distance to the line. And Kyan sets a 107.8. Good lap time from him. 2 Aston Martins are next. Alesi is going to be first. He sets a 108.7, while his teammate sets a 108.6. Ferrari of Alfie comes across the line next with a 109.2. Then we've got the Merc of Nando Loris. He goes P2 with a 108.1. Raj Volsa, the closest man, he's also in the 107s with a 107.9. Banyul's going to minutes across the line. He goes P4 with a 108.6. Good lap time from him. Usteri about to start his lap. Elias is going to be next across the line. Taps the wall a little and he sets a 109.6. Williams next of the Big Spartan. He goes P4, good quality in one shot, and he's set a good time here. It's a 108.4 for him. Who we got next? Jundy set a time we don't care about on the hards. Morgan starting a lap, I think. I think she made a mistake somewhere along there. Is everybody else back into the pits? I don't know why it keeps saying connecting to online services. Minty's going to be next across the line. Used up a lot of his ERS. He's in the 110s. That's not going to be good enough. The 110.5. Void's going to be next across the line on his lap, I think. Oh, it's going to be to Usteri, actually. So using that last bit of ERS as he opens his DRS. Can he beat Kyan's 107.8? No, he can't. He's almost matches it, but he needs another 100th to try and get in, claim that top spot, but doable for him. Wide Vader about to start his lap. Manic, how Shell is racing. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you next season. But yeah, nice track to race Brazil. Personally, I like it. Morgan's going to cross the line. She's 6 seconds improving. She goes P6 with a 108.6. Just in front. Oh! Cara, no. No aerodynamics then. Just decided to go. So she's 100th in front of Manuel. Duke, can I be D2? Look how washed I am. See, you know, this guy told me when I moved him up from D2 to D1, he told me I'm not D1 pace. Why are you moving me up to D1? The following season, he wins a D1 championship. Enough said. Any idea when the next season will start? Like a rough time frame? We're thinking like a 1 week break, so no race next week, and then the following week from there. It's not going to be a proper season because we're going to obviously transition into the next game. So it's Wide Vader going pole. So it's going to be more like a season 5.5. Jamie, if I go no line, can I go D2? No. You'd have to go no wheel to go into D2. Some of them pole times you've set is ridiculous. That's the week I'm not here. What? Not next week, the week after. Jundy's still on the hard tyres. Have we got anyone on our lap? Morgan's crawling to the pits. I'm like 3 seconds slower in O-line. Well, you're practicing O-line and then in like, what, 6-7 weeks, there's going to be a new game. Everyone's crawling to the pits. What a time that is by Wide Vader, by the way. 2 tenths clear of Kayam. Showing why he is our D2 champion. Manic, I've got to admit, I haven't been performing well recently. Your racing isn't bad. I'm not saying your racing isn't bad. You really need to improve on those track limits, though. Every race. It's like 6 seconds plus. Concept will also miss the first race, but we'll be here for round 2. Cool. Lovely. Yeah, we got a little surprise for season 5.5. Doogie's going to cross the line. Goes P8 with a 108.671. 2 1,000ths faster than Morgan. So, with his new setup, still showing money can't buy his speed. Sorry, Twiggy. Couple of people coming out of the pits. 10 minutes left of this session. Nando Loris on a run, but he is matching his first time and he dives into the pits. Alezu changes to none. Still waiting for my D2 reserve role. I tell you what, we'll give you a D2 reserve role for season 5 and season 5 only. Jundy's still on the hard tyres. Yeah, really. Yeah, we'll give you one. You can only use it in season 5 though. Minty just starting his lap. Burning a bit of his ERS down the second DRS straight. Currently slower on his second lap. Kyan in the meantime, let's see if he can improve. He is faster by 0.5 tenth. Yeah, this is season 5. What am I scrolling up to? Oh, struggling with the balance of the car. Yeah, it's all setup based. And if you don't, it's just this game. You need to practice. If you don't practice, if you go a full week without touching the game into the next weekend, you'll never improve. Oh wow, Too Stary beating his teammates, that provisional pole by 0.5 tenth. What has Cayenne got in his locker? He's certainly got a little bit of a DRS slipstream. That's what he's got. Crosses the line. He goes quicker with a 107.3. Wow, with the assist of Minty. What a great lap time from him. So that's going to take something special to beat that. No, you can't get a reserve roll for 5.5 Duke. No. Season 5 only. I didn't play this game for over a week before Vegas. Fair, you did quite well in Vegas. You had pace. A couple of incidents, but yeah, pace. Manic carries good on new tyres, but as soon as they start greening, getting where the balance goes really bad. Yeah, the main issue for that genuinely is TT setups. So using TT setups are just no good for balance on race. Yeah, my wet pace is also terrible. I hate the rain. Yesterday I was doing really well. I was managing to stick with the likes of Ice Cream, Charles, Jonas. I was keeping pace with them. As soon as the rain hit me, that was it. I'm not ignoring you. I said it was for Season 5 and Season 5 only, not Season 5.5. Wide Vader again on the curb a little bit too much there, unsettling his car, which might cost him half a tenth, but it's what he'll need to try and get that provisional pole or even P2 at the moment. But this track does improve quite a lot. As I found out yesterday, even in the dry, it's but he is 2 tenths down as I say that. Yeah, and he overstays on the final corner, so not happy with that lap time. Wide Vader will most likely come into the pits. John still on them hard tyres. Minty coming around the final corner. I agree, Concepts just on his own, just racing around his own. Minty improves by 4 tenths, but he's going to need another half a second to try and gain any places. Avatar Wolf just getting himself out of the way. Nobody's on a lap at the moment. We've got 5.5 minutes left of this session. Manic, it's all on setups. I did a comparison with my mate. I burn the rears quicker than him, but he kills the fronts more than me. It's just depending on the way you drive. It does depend on the way you drive, but regardless who you are, if you go and put a TT setup on, your quality pace will be great, but after around 10 laps, like you said, the balance of the car will really be a bit everywhere. And it also depends on what traction you're using. The big Spartan is on a lap. As is Twiggy, he's coming around the final corner. No, he's not. It's the other Haas and Minty. So right on board with the big Spartan. He's slower by just less than 2 tenths. Slight lift on the right-hander. Slight lift can also improve your lap time as it unsettles the car less, but he goes deep there. The big Spartan just one more corner to go, but he is matching his time, so he doesn't look like he's going to improve. We'll ride him over Twiggy. He's improving by less than 2 tenths. It's looking like a decent lap from Twiggy at the moment. Could he get himself up into P7 or P8? Forget set a decent lap. Currently in P8. Crosses the line. Should really keep the tight run and keep left, but chooses in the middle of the track, goes P8. Half a tenth. Minty has retired. Oh, where is he retired? Can we see? I'm not sure how he's ended up out there, if I'm honest. But P17 will be all he's got. Baguette, can he I don't know what all that was about. Must have been improving. No, he's slower by 7/10. Who else have we got on a lap? The Big Spartan's on his way into the pits. Morgana improving by 3/10 at the moment. She's had a good start to her lap. Who else have we got on a lap time? So Morgan's going to be next across the line. I think Albert at Fuji's on an out lap. We've got Ferrari at Banyol. Or is it Alfie? Alfie's on his out lap, so it's going to be Morgan next across the line. But I think she's slower. She had a moment somewhere. So I think she's going again with 60% ERS. Yes, she is. Forget is going to dive into the pit lane, so that is his qualifying session over. But yeah, Jamie, I used the throttle too early, rotate the car, which hooks and rears, and then the balance goes. Yeah. And, oh, we say that as Banyol is facing the wrong way. I'm not taking commentator's curse for that. Manic. That one's on Manic. Rajvosa is going to be next across the line. He must has aborted that lap, so he's going again. Alpha Terry Wolf will be next. And then Alezu is starting his lap. Alpha Terry Wolf crosses the line, improves by a 10th, just over a 10th. That puts him to P11. We've got two Ferraris next. Alfie is going to set a decent time. Crosses the line, improves by 3/10, puts him P13. Next is going to be Sterry crossing the line, but I think he has aborted that lap. Let a couple of people through. Hopefully we're pretty confident on our wheel by season 6. Yeah, it'll take a couple of weeks to get used to it. Nando Loris is going to start his lap. He's got a car behind him of Jundi, who's getting ready to start his lap, so he's taking a bit of a tow. Rajvosa on his way into the pits. He's run out of fuel, so that is Rajvosa's qualifying over. P4 is all the best he can give at the moment. Banyol on the lap at the moment. So is Alezu. And he's going to get a nice little tow from the McLaren driver, who makes it to the line. Alezu crosses the line a 10th slower. Banyol crosses the line. He improves by 2/10. That puts him up into P7, 2.5 temps. Good lap time from him. Elias crosses the line next. He's improving by a lot. Crosses the line, 3.5 temps improvement. Keeps him P14. Cayenne is going to be next. He dives into the pits. Twooge invalidated. Wide Vader, can he improve? He's invalidated. A lot of invalidations on the final run. Nando Loris, what's he got? He's slower. The Big Spartan doesn't have much time in him. Who was that? That was Jundi going P4. Good lap time from him. Not enough to split the Saubers. The Big Spartan crosses the line, slower by 2/10. AlphaTauri Wolf is slower on his run. Alezu is invalidated. And that is our quali order. There we are. So Cayenne with a great lap time with a 1:07.3. So Twooge not being able to take double pole positions. So it was looking like a perfect weekend from Twooge. Hello, Jonas. W. Jundi. You missed it earlier. Both Williams had a good sprint. What was it? I think it was. Let me have a quick look. I think it was P4, P5. Yes, it was. Was it? Yeah. John Deere P4, the Big Spartan P5. So yeah, both Williams having a good start to this weekend. We've got one in P4 currently and one in P9. Kyan there, setting pole with a 107.3. It's a very strong time. Huge Y Vader closely behind. Jundi setting the only time on his soft tyres, setting a 107.6. Yeah. We have a dry race for anyone that's just joined, so it's going to be interesting. Final race of the season. I'll see if Jundi can remove the warning. Yeah, he did get 3 seconds. And it did cost him a position, so yeah, if he could get that, he'll retake back the podium spot from Nando Loris. What would 107.3 have got Kyan in D1? Good question. Should we have a look? Let me get my race recording up from yesterday. Better wants to load. Scroll through this real quick. There we are. 107.3 would have been P4. Yeah, depending on what he got, it would have been P4. Yeah, it would have been pole for the sprint. Half setting 106.8. So yeah, the only drivers to get into the 106 crazy time. But yeah, very strong from Kyan. Get Kyan and wide rated to D1. Weird to see myself in a Ferrari. Yeah, it was weird. Don't worry, your points will still go to Williams. And I was thinking this after the race. It was probably a good job you weren't in a Williams, because there were moments in the race where you and Harv would have had to pit at the same time. So you kind of got away with one in that sense. But Jamie, you need to remember that Harv has all the time to practice. Well, you've got time to go in the game, fair enough. I will definitely not criticise anybody for practicing. My front right got hit in Vegas like 25 minutes ago. Vegas just ain't your race. Controller disconnected in wheel to wheel Vegas. Have we got a ready up time? Let's have a look. Oh, as he says that, we've got 3, 4, 5 red lights in Brazil for the final time this season. It's lights out and away we go. Kyan gets a good start, but he's under a little bit of pressure from Tuj on the inside, but he's not going to be far enough alongside. Rajvo's already making moves up. He's up into P4. Side by side with Jundi. He's going to come out on top. We've got Jundi going off track there, and he's not going to keep that position. The Big Spartan up into P8. We move further down the grid. Everybody looking like they got away okay. Tricky camera angles there as we see a couple of people going wide. Twiggy trying to fight back for that P10 against the Lezu. We've got Nando Loris and Morgan battling it out. Morgan's got the inside. Nando Loris trying to go around the outside. Morgan has to stay behind. And then that is the Big Spartan losing a bit of his wing under braking into the Alpine. So that's going to cost him a lot of time in this race. I imagine he'll get that replaced at his first pit stop. Baguette not had a good start to this race. He's battling with Alfie, who's off the track, and through goes Minty. Kyan starts this race 7/10 out in front of Twuge. Everybody's still within that DRS, as DRS will be activated this lap all the way down to Morgan, who's 1.2 seconds adrift and under pressure from the Big Spartan. Will he look to make a move into turn 1? No, brakes early, stays behind. He'll wait for the second dose of DRS. Will Touge look to make a move? down into the first DRS straight. Pulls out to see the line, but no move from the Sauber driver. The Big Spartan now makes that move on Morgan. And Banyul also thought about it. Oh, the Big Spartan going wide there. Everybody else sticking single file. Minty, who was that? That was Elias and Void. Oh, that's Minty in the background going very, very wide. He's creating a new line. That promotes Alfie up into P16. Elias lost a bit of front wing damage again, as has Void. Both missing the front right wing end plate. Baguette tops them both. He's missing both as he gets tapped on the right hand corner. Under braking, he was trying to go up the inside there. I think that was a bit audacious. So Twooge importantly sticking with the Alpine out in front. Twooge got the DRS. And turn 1, Cayenne still got the inside line. Cayenne will look to get a better exit. As Twooge goes wide there, that might be a warning for him. Cayenne's going to have the DRS. And Wide Vader looking to put his Sauber in there. Twooge is going to go from P1 all the way down to P3. Wide Vader has the inside line. Cayenne having to go around the outside. Leaves the track momentarily. Wide Vader looking to fight back. He's on the grass slightly, but he's having to go a long way around. Good racing there from the front 3. So Jundi and Nandaloris also sticking with. So the top 6 all keeping together. And then we've got 3 seconds, which separates down to the Big Spartan. As Banyul looking to make a move there, but he backed out at the last moment. And then we've got from P7 down to P12 before we have another 3-second gap to Elias. So we've got like 3 separate groups on track at the moment as Void passes Elias into the final corner. Wide Vader now takes the lead of this race for the first time today. The new D2 champion. Cayenne taking a wide line through that. Will he look to make a move on the second DRS? Alfie gets 10 seconds to speed in the pit lane. Everybody keeping single file through there. We'll have a look at the second battle. We've got the Big Spartan trying to go up the inside of the Alpine. And he whacks Morgan off the track. And that puts Twiggy onto the curb, almost losing it there. So the Big Spartan going for a bit of a push to pass. Push to pass. So let's have a look at our tyres as we see the front all battling it out. Sorry, I want to leave that on that. Tyres, so mixed tyres, majority on mediums. Nando Loris on the soft tyres, so I imagine he's going soft hard. Morgan on the hard tyres, and Alfie is also just pitted for the hard tyres. And there are the winners and losers. So Wide Vader up 2 positions, but we're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, making that 2 wide. Twooge and Cayenne. Wide Vader's had to back out of that one, but Twooge has gone deep. Wide Vader gets a very good exit, and now Twooge is under pressure from Raj Vosa, who gets a good exit. He's still side by side with Twooge, burning. We're going 2 by 2. Twooge, Twooge tapping the side of Cayenne. Still both battling out. That slowed Raj Vosa down, who's now side by side with Jundi. We're going 2 by 2 through the fast right-hander. Twooge just backed out of that one. He's lost a place to Cayenne, but he's gone deep again. Great racing from a spectator point of view. 2 by 2 almost every corner. Nando's always starting on the softs. Yeah, I mean, you get a great start, don't get me wrong, but come around lap 8 in this race, I think he's going to start to drop off. Let's take that off. Put penalties on. Alfie gets 3 seconds. Add to his 10. Excuse me. So Cayenne's going to put some pressure on Wide Vader now out in front. He promotes himself into P1, but Wide Vader's going to fight back. He's still keeping a tyre in there. That puts Cayenne a little bit offline. Wide Vader's going to have the better exit down the second DRS straight. He's already pulling out towards his side pod. And he's already got that move done. Twooge decides to stay behind there. He's back up into P3. But now he's side by side with Cayenne. Side by side with Jundi now. As both cars. Jundy keeping it on the inside. Rajvosa managing to defend against. Oh, Jundy's oversteered. No idea what's happened there, but there was quite a bit of damage. Twooge has lost his front wing end plate. I'm not sure if that was just a knock-on effect from Kayan or if that was a knock-on effect from Jundy oversteering. But that's really cost Twooge, especially in the long run. We'll see if he can still keep within the DRS. He's already dropped out. Where's the detection zone? It's just ahead, so he's not going to get DRS. Jundy torpedoing into Twooge. Twooge into the pits, so he's having to make an early pit stop. Missed his braking. Well, I think Jundy oversteered, but I don't know if he hit the back of Kayan or... I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. So we'll keep an eye on where Twooge comes out. But that'll be a little bit of respite for Wide Vader out in front, who's now... Oh, it was just over a second. He's flicking in between. Jundy at the back of Kayan. Yeah, I thought he did. I saw Kayan go ghost briefly. Yeah, and it was just one big knock-on effect. So Twooge comes out in P14 just behind Boyd, which I imagine he will... Oh, he's still coming out, actually. There we are. So he comes back onto the track in P14. Morgan also pitting. I'm not sure what happened to her in terms of why she's pit. It was a very early pit stop. So them two will probably need a safety car of some sort to try and get them back towards the front. Kayan managing to get within that DRS of Wide Vader, which is very important. Rajvosa in the pits already. Did Rajvosa get damage? That promotes Baniel into P5. We'll keep an eye on Rajvosa. Is he getting a new front wing? Yes, he's got a little bit of front wing end plate damage. And what is taking so long? I've no idea what just took so long, but his front wing isn't fixed. And his pit stop took ages. Anyway, Codemasters. He comes out behind Twooge. As Alfie battling it out with Elias. Alfie trying to go the long way around. Elias goes deep. Alfie's going to get the better run down the second DRS straight. He's already on the gearbox of Elias. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like that's the McLaren of AlphaTauri Wolf, who's now up into P5. Elias comes out on top there. We'll go back to... Oh, was it Nando Loris? Nando Loris lost a lot of time. He's now down in P6. So there we go. The soft's really starting to die as we see him in the pit lane. We'll cut back to the front of the grid as that is Wide Vader on the grass. He's going the Lando Norris route. He's side by side. Oh, almost 3 wide. Kayan very sensible to back out of that there, but Jundy takes the lead of this race. We have a new race leader. So the Williams out in front. That could have been very costly. That could have been all 3 cars facing the wrong way. All 3 do still have their front wings intact. Twiggy up in P6 at the moment. Oh, Jundy's teammate battling out with Alezu. Alezu has the inside line. The Big Spartan will have the inside line for the next corner. He's missing a lot of his front wing. Alezu trying to go around the outside. Both drivers doing really well, giving each other enough space. He says that as they're wheel banging. And the Big Spartan manages to come out on top. So back down the pit straight. Jundy begins this lap in front, but Wide Vader's already pulled alongside, and Kayan's looking to do the same. Half-heartedly put his wing in there. Jundy needs to make sure he gets a good exit, which he's not done, which is going to put him under pressure from Kayan. Jundy did get the DRS though, so Wide Vader did get that pass done before the DRS detection zone. So I think that DRS just saving the Williams driver there from another position loss. But Kayan is really pushing the Williams along. So Nando Loris came out in P12 as Kayan passes Jundy. in what must have been an unorthodox overtaking position. So we're on lap 10 of 36 and we've got a yellow flag. That is Alfie, who's had a moment into turn 1 and he got 3 seconds. So he's on to 19 seconds now. Jundy damage. Jundy does have damage. He's got a front wing end plate missing as he gingerly goes into the pits, making sure he doesn't get 10 seconds. So that promotes Baniel up into P3. What a start of this race he's had. Just goes to show just racing clean and just getting yourself by and make your positions. As Wide Vader defending nicely against Cayenne. Cayenne looking to take the inside line, but Wide Vader positioned his Sauber very nicely. So at one point, what was our championship battle, I would have loved to have seen this on the final race for a World Drivers' Championship. That would have been great to see. Wide Vader been very strong all season. Cayenne also been a strong driver, just not quite as consistent as what Vader has. But nonetheless, we're coming down the first DRS straight and Cayenne is already alongside before we even cross the line. He gets that move done. Who's going to be last on the brakes? It's going to be Vader. Vader keeping himself in there. Who's going to get the DRS? I think Vader was just in front then. So I think Cayenne might actually get the DRS down here. And he does. So Vader's not going to get the DRS. So Cayenne can defend a lot easier with that rear wing open as Twooge passes Minty, who's in the pits. So Twooge up into P9. Jundy up into P10. So Jundy 4 seconds adrift from Twooge at the moment as Baguette passes his teammate. Excuse me. And Cayenne and Vader still battling it out. Vader has the inside line. That'll be Cayenne's inside line for the next corner. Vader's still keeping it in there. And that'll be Vader's inside line for the next corner. But Cayenne has got the race in line, which should give him a better exit out of the penultimate corner. Wide Vader tucks in behind. I think he will happily take the DRS. As we cross the DRS detection zone now. Oh, we'd already passed it. Cayenne covering the inside. Wide Vader having to go the long way around. And that's not going to give him the best of exits for the second DRS straight. But Cayenne drifting a little bit wide. And that's left the gap open for Wide Vader, who's already side by side. Baniel's into the pits now, is he? Yes, he is. So he is boxed for a new set of hard tyres. And he's going to come out just behind Jundy, I think. Yeah, Jundy will move up into P9, but I think he will come out in front of Nando Loris. No one talking about Baguette. Yeah, I mean, he's running a great race up to now. Still on them medium tyres. He's got 3 seconds, which the 2 drivers behind him also have 3 seconds. He just needs to make sure now when he pits, he chooses a different tyre compound. But Rajivosa making up positions. Has he pitted twice? Oh, we'll have a look at Twooge in the meantime. Twiggy bro, what a different man he can be sometimes. Yeah, well, he's running a new setup. He has got himself a Moser, is it R3 wheel? Is that the one that Xbox do? He's got himself one of them and this is his first race on it. He said he's enjoying it. He said it feels a lot different but a lot better. He had a Logitech previously. As we see Baguette into the pits and puts on a different set of compound tyres, so well done Baguette. Cayenne and Vader still battling hard out on track. 2 of the quickest drivers this division's seen. AlphaTauri Wolf under a little bit of pressure from Twiggy. I imagine we'll see Twiggy move up into P3. Alfie retires from the session in the pit lane as Karen gets the DRS. And will this class as an overtake under yellow flags? I'm not sure. I don't think it will. Minty gets a 3-second time penalty. Cayenne passes Widerader into turn 1, but Widerader is going to come back with the second dose of DRS. Or will Cayenne manage to defend it? Widerader is going to go side by side. Cayenne's having to go the long way around. He keeps it in between the lines though. Slight tap of wheels. Nudges Cayenne a little bit wide. Still side by side. Through the fast right-hander. Vader looked to go for a little bit of a switchback, but he's not got the momentum for it. Twiggy up into P3 now as he passes AlphaTauri Wolf. He's missing a bit of his front wing end plate as well. So I imagine he's struggling a little bit out there, and they've both got Sterry chasing them down. Jundy 8 tenths behind Alezu at the moment. Rajvosa and Void battling it out. Rajvosa passes his teammate, and he'll be looking to pass Elias down in the second DRS straight. I think Elias is going to be a little bit defenceless here. He passes the Red Bull. Alfie, oh well, not how I wanted to end my season. What happened? I just didn't have the pace or incident or whatever. I saw you box early. So it looks like we're going to see a change of lead once again. Like Verstappen and Hamilton all over again, but far cleaner. Banyol passes Alezu, that's on the pit straight. Alezu's into the pits. So both of these drivers showing why they've been championship contenders all season. Very nice racing between the two of them. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. Why has he just now got this wheel? I don't know. He had a Logitech beforehand. Yeah, he had a Logitech beforehand, and then he's just moved to a Moser. Alfie, the setup I was running made my car drive like a drift car. Was it a TT setup by any chance? Oh, Wide Raider is in the pits. Cayenne has opted to stay out. We're on lap 17. Twiggy, will he dive into the pits? No, he doesn't. He stays out, as does AlphaTauri Wolf. Banyol's already pitted, so we'll keep an eye on where he comes out. So Wide Raider comes out behind his teammate. Will he come out behind Jundy? I think that's going to be important, especially for Cayenne. He comes out in front of Jundy, so he's going to have that extra free air out in front, so that was important for him. We'll see if Cayenne chooses to box, whereas Cayenne boxing just a little bit later could put him behind Jundy now, as Minty and Morgan both battling it out. Morgan down the second DRS straight, should pass Minty with ease on the fresher medium tyres. She gets that move done as Minty looks to fight back, but I think that was a bit audacious. Right, we'll keep an eye on Cayenne. Cayenne is in the pit lane. As you can see, the next train of cars of Twiggy. Will Twiggy go into the pits? Twiggy does dive into the pits. AlphaTauri Wolf staying out. Twiggy needs to carefully don't get in 10 seconds. Right, we'll keep an eye on Cayenne as Twiggy passes. AlphaTauri Wolf will pass. Wide Vader passes. Where will they come out in terms of Jundy? There we go, we see the Alpine. So he comes out right behind Wide Vader, which is where he was before the pits. So he's not really lost anything. If anything, he's on one lap fresher tyres now. So maybe a Wide Vader getting held up by the McLaren driver just a little bit. And it will be doing through this middle sector, as I imagine AlphaTauri Wolf's tyres have seen a different life. As there we go, Wide Vader making a move up the inside, getting a pass down into the middle sector. Will Wide Vader get the DRS though? Probably not from his teammate. So Wide Vader passing AlphaTauri Wolf there might not have been the best of ideas, because now he could be under threat from Cayenne as he passes the McLaren. But he is 7/10 away. I think he's going to be too far back for him moving to turn 1. Jundy looking to come back on the McLaren driver. He passes AlphaTauri Wolf into turn 1. We'll see if Cayenne can make a move down the second DRS straight, but I think once again he's going to be a bit too far back. But nonetheless, it's where they were before the pit, so I think he'll be happy with that. It was at that is Twiggy and Baguette going side by side into turn 1. Twiggy on the fresher tyres and getting much better exit. But who will get the DRS? It's going to be neither of them. Either one of us forgot to open the DRS or nobody got it. Minty now battling with Rajvosa. Rajvosa going around the outside. Good move from him, as he's got the Alpine and Morgan next in his sights. So Wide Vader now caught up to the back of his teammate. So I imagine Twurge will not put much of a effort up to defend against his teammate, but I think we'll see a bit more of an effort against the Alpine of Cayenne. As Banyul now passes AlphaTauri Wolf, who is into the pits on lap 20 of 36. And he is onto the hard tyres. So he's gone longer on the mediums than he will do on the hards. As Baguette and Twiggy still battling it out. Baguette got the DRS. Then you ask Twooge for his tyres. Hard. I know you're not asking me what tyres he's got, but... So none of the top 6 currently has any time penalties, as AlphaTauri Wolf comes out behind the Big Spartan in P10, but he is on the much fresher tyres and he currently has no time penalties. Oh, the percentage of his tyres? No. No. Kyan getting a very good exit there. Already all over the back of Wide Vader. Choosing to go around the outside, which will give him a better line for turn 1. But Wide Vader can defend better from the inside. Wide Vader later on the brakes as well, but Cayenne's going to get a good, better exit by the looks of things. I think he was slightly later on the throttle there. But you can see how much of a better line he got. Wide Vader choosing to defend the inside once again. Cayenne around the outside, keeping it in between the lines. I don't know what's up with that helicopter camera. Still side by side. It's great to see. Whoa, Wide Vader! 3 seconds. I wouldn't say Cayenne forced him off track there. I'd say there was minimal amount of gap, but I would say Wide Vader wasn't forced off track. I'd say there was a little bit in it. In race director, it says what the tyre offset to Jazz. Does it? I don't think it does. I mean, I'll have a look in a moment once we get through the first and second DRS straight. So Twooge will lead lap 22, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure from Cayenne. Oh, that was a big whack. How hard will Twooge defend? Didn't really give Cayenne much space on the outside there, but Cayenne gets past nonetheless. And Twooge gets the DRS. I imagine he won't put much of a fight up. Oh, Twooge is looking to fight back against Cayenne. Let me see the race director thing. No, so it just shows the tyre you've gone onto. A lot of front wing changes. 6 altogether. Yep, there we go. As Boyd gets 3 seconds. So that 3 seconds could really cost Wide Vader this race, in what's been a really strong race for him. Twooge tyre offset really beginning to show now. He's dropped out of DRS of Cayenne. So could this be Kayan's race to lose? Wide Vader will get the DRS, and will he be able to catch up to the back of Kayan just a little bit? Oh, look at the power of that DRS. He went from 1.3 seconds to 9/10. So he's going to get, will he get DRS down the second stint? Does he get that rear wing open? Yes, he does. I think that was very important for the Sauber driver to keep within Kayan. Kayan needs a very good second sector to try and escape that 1 second gap of the Sauber behind, but I don't think he's going to get it. He's already losing time. Jundi now back with Twuge after them two losing both front wing end, both losing a front wing end plate. Nando Loris now gets 3 seconds as Twiggy and Baguette are still battling out. Excuse me. Raj Bosa into the pits. So he's going on to the new set of hard tyres, and he will come out in P16. So Wide Vader sets a new fastest lap as Twuge losing a position to John Deere, who oversteers. Wow, we nearly had a recreation of the previous damage. John Deere oversteering and Twuge going straight into the back of him. It was nearly 2 for 2. As Jundi doesn't make a move. Kayan still leading this race. As Baguette and Twiggy battling out. Twiggy trying to go around the outside. I think he left the track momentarily. In the background, the Big Spartan's also trying to make a move. Will we look to go 3 wide? The Big Spartan makes a move on both of them. Twiggy looking to fight back. Not far enough along to go down the inside. So the Big Spartan up into P7, but he does have 16 seconds worth of penalties. LM Boy chat, I'm currently on a date. Yeah, go and talk to your date. Don't get off the stream. And that's the only time I'll tell you that. So Wide Vader retakes the lead of this race, which I think Kayan won't mind to see, as he does have 3 seconds. But will Wide Vader try and contest one of those 3 seconds? Twuge now back up into P3. Did you pay her? I don't think that's a date. That's called something else. Ellen Boy does have a date, apparently. His date's the 6th of April. As Harv would say, crazy. So, still going through this little battle of 4 cars. Twiggy's now dropped down to P10. Yep, true. Might be a guy. Sorry for assuming. Oh, Twiggy just leaving a front wing end plate in there. That was close. He could have had that taken off for my Alpha Terrible. We'll cut back to the front as Wide Vader looking to fight back once again. Oh, Kayan went to turn in very early there. I don't know if he oversteered or just don't know, but he's 1.5 seconds adrift now as Jundi retakes the position on Twuge. Kayan looked like he went to turn in and the car was like, nope. Almost like Morgan in quali. But good save from the Alpine driver, but it has put him out of DRS contention currently. 10 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Can't believe you ditched my reserve seat for a date. Get your priorities in check. I agree. I couldn't think of any better place to be than Brazil on a Sunday night. Kayan ever so close to getting that DRS as Morgan and Void battling away. Morgan up into P13. as she has a bundle of cars, all with time penalties out in front. Swooj 3 seconds adrift now from the front two. So I think the best he can hope for today will be a podium, especially after getting that front wing damage and having to pit early, as well as Jundi. He had the sprint pole, the sprint win. Looks like the best he can do in the race is going to be P3. The big Spartan gets 3 seconds. That's 19 seconds for him. That's going to drop him down quite a few positions as he's now looking to make a move on Baguette, having to go around the outside. He collides wheel with the Aston Martin driver. That puts him off the track. Still colliding wheels. Still side by side as Elias is retired. Oh, it's in the pits. I thought we had a safety car then. As Jundi making a move on Swooj. Swooj just being mad unlucky this year in the races. Yeah, I agree. He always has some sort of like, I mean, don't get wrong, some of it is a skill issue. No doubt in that. But yeah, he has had a lot of bad luck as he leaves the track ever so slightly. That might be a warning for him. Why is this race so long? I thought that yesterday, especially in the rain, 36 laps. There is a lot of overtaking in Brazil though. For a track that is so short, is a really fun track to race, but it does feel very long. Alesi looking to make a move on the McLaren driver. He lags in front. He goes deep though and he's off the track. He's going to have to be careful rejoining. The McLaren goes back through. Twiggy just sitting behind watching. Twiggy on 6 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. Big cluster. Oh, Cayenne has got 3 seconds. And where's he gone? He's gone so far. What? I'm so confused what just happened. It looked like he went straight on, and I think he did. He's 2.3 seconds adrift now. So could Jundi... I don't think Jundi's in to win this. I think he won't be able to keep 3 seconds within both cars, especially with the length of time he's going to spend on these tyres. But the front two both have 3 seconds, and Cayenne is now 3 seconds adrift of Wide Vader, so he's really struggling now. So Wide Vader, after getting those 3 seconds, could be on to win this race. Better than the race this morning. Can't believe honestly, I was so bored. I was just watching it, waiting for something to happen. Then the pit lane incident happened, and I was like, oh, we're on for something here. Nope, nothing. Oh, what have we got here? Williams and Baguette. Baguette side by side, off the track. As you can see why both drivers now do have time penalties. Baguette manages to make that move stick up into P7. Good job from him. Daniel quietly running a very strong race up in P5 at the moment. Jundi now 1.7 seconds close to Cayenne, so Cayenne's really struggling out now. I'm not sure what has happened. Front wing's still intact, but he's gone from fighting away with Wide Vader to now he's 4.3 seconds adrift, and Jundi and Swooj are now in contention of P2 and P3. Boyd gets 3 seconds as he's off the track. 6 more laps. As Swooj now really has a position to fight for. Oh, and that's Cayenne facing the wrong way. Cayenne facing the wrong way in Sector 2. Cayenne really struggling now. He looked like he was set to win this race, especially with Wide Vader's 3 seconds. And now he could be on for P4 or even P5. It's not been a good last stint for Cayenne this last race, but I think that sums up his season. If I'm honest, he's got the pace. It shows his pace is there. But yeah, nonetheless, Jundi looking to go side by side with Twooge. I don't know what's up with this helicopter camera. It's like so jittery in this first sector. Twooge fighting back, gets a much better exit, and he's in front for the right-hander. I think Kyle was forced off by Vader in the first incident, touched the grass and went straight, but I'm not sure. With his time penalty. Oh, right, I see what you mean when he went straight on. Oh, okay. Right. Maybe, yeah. That would make sense to why he went so deep into that corner. I think you'd struggle to miss your breaking point by that much. As the big Spartan forcing Baguette off track. And is that going to allow AlphaTauri Wolf through? It certainly lets Twiggy through. Twiggy having to go the long way around. He's slow and he's lost a position to the second Aston Martin driver, Valezu. So Twiggy was on for P9 there and he's dropped down to P11. As AlphaTauri Wolf now. Oh, wow, we've got 3 cars wide. And Baguette's come worse off there. And the big Spartan's got. Oh, wow, this is that. Wow. Very scruffy racing. We shouldn't really be going 3 wide there in second sector. And the big Spartan losing is that his other front wing. And he's collided with Twiggy, who's come back on track and luckily ghosted. So yeah, the big Spartan missing both wing end plates as he dives into the pits and doesn't get 10 seconds. So we'll cut back to the front. Jundy 7 seconds adrift. The big Spartan kart race just crashing. Well, I mean, going from what I just saw with Twiggy, I'm not going to argue with you. So Banyol not got enough pace to try and get P4 at the minute within 3 seconds. So I think he's going to have to settle for P5. Twooge in the meantime, battling away for P2 as he makes a move into turn 1. Why is he even doing that? He's got 19 seconds. Well, yeah. They just served 10 of them in the pits. Jundy's going to fight back here. He's going to pull to the inside of Twooge. This is a battle for P2 and P3. Jundy later on the brakes. 3 more laps remaining. Wide Raider 7.7 seconds out in front. He does have that 3-second time penalty, but it will not matter. The only thing he might need to cover himself off with now is maybe an incident, or a penalty, should I say, if anything is reported from Kayam. Twiggy moves up into P8. So what was P11 a couple of laps ago is now P8. He does have 6 seconds, but as to the 2 drivers behind him. Raj Rosa not really showing his pace here today. I don't think I've even seen him towards the top half. I think he's pitted twice as well. So not been his best race. After winning Vegas and what was before Vegas? Whatever was before Vegas. So lap 34-36. Twooge currently is in P2. Singapore, that was the one. Yeah, Raj also winning Singapore. Thank you. So, anybody listening in the chat below, who do you think is going to take P2? Is it going to be Twooge or Jundy? I don't know who my money's on, if I'm honest. I think it might come down to who's going to get DRS on the penultimate lap. But it's going to be a race to the line. I'll certainly tell you that. So if this was the final lap now, how close would Jundy be? Not close enough, as the finish line is there. So he gets DRS down the first straight, doesn't overtake down the first. Oversteers a little bit on the exit, and that's put Twooge 6 temps out in front. Jundy will have to burn her just a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a pass, which might suit him. I'm not sure as we begin the final lap at the end of Sector 3. And I don't know which is better to have DRS down the main straight or down the second DRS straight. We've seen overtakes of both, plenty of them, if I'm honest. Both Aston Martin drivers ban out. Alezu moves up into P9. AlphaTauri Wolf currently P7, no penalties, but I don't think he's going to benefit from Nando's penalty as it stands, 15 seconds adrift. Right, this is what we want to keep an eye on, and Kyan has almost joined in with the DRS, but I don't think he's going to get it. So we'll run on board with Jundi, who has already passed Twooge before we even get to turn 1. We're right on board with Twooge now, who needs a good exit, has to get a good exit. I wouldn't say he got much of a better exit than Jundi, but he does get the DRS now. He's going to pull alongside. Twooge carrying much more speed and gets that move done before the corner. Jundi looking to swoop back and go for the switchback. He's side by side with Twooge. We're side by side heading into the fast right-hander. Jundi backs out. So Twooge currently P2 with a couple of attempts to go. Couple of corners to go, should I say, not attempts. We've got a yellow flag. That's Nando Loris? No? Don't know who that was. Twooge has caught, oh, I think it was Wide Vader. He's caught right up to the back of him. What has Wide Vader done? Is Wide Vader letting Twooge take the points and the victory? I missed that, but Twooge, Stary, after an early incident and boxing, is going to come home and win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Jundi has to settle for P2. Wide Vader will take on P3. Kyan P4. Baniel P5. Wow, what teamwork that was. Wide Vader sacrificing the win to give Two Stary the points in what is his battle for P3. I think that P2, P3, I can't remember. Baniel comes on P6. Baniel P5. Nando Loris P6. AlphaTauri Wolf with no track limit warnings. Unfortunately, won't be able to benefit from that. Will stay P7. This battle what have been brewing for a very long time, which I'm surprised didn't end in a safety car. Twiggy P8, Alezu P9, Rajvosa jumps all the way up to P8 after getting no track warnings. Well done to him. Morgan P12 taking on the last point scoring position. The Big Spartan P14, Void P15, and Minty will cross the line at P13. Elias and Alfie, the only two DNFs for today. There we have it. That is our final race of the season. What an enjoyable season it's been. Driver of the day, Two Stary, with Y Vader the assist. There we are, Y Vader taking on the fastest lap as well. There are the standings. I'll get the race director for anybody that needs it. Looks like a long one. There we are. Right, that is it for me, and that is it for Wheel to Wheel for Season 5. Thank you to all of you that have raced. Thank you to everybody that has tuned in on the streams. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to have a week break next week, but we'll be filtering through some news on Season 5.5. But big thank you from me, and hopefully we will see you all in a couple of weeks next season. But yeah, see you then.